What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Rainer, with RTS Mobile Game, and bring you another fantastic video today. In today's video, we are playing Sea of Conquest, and I apologize, I have not made a Sea of Conquest video in 2 weeks. We are changing that now here today. In today's video, we'll be debuting a brand new build called the Rogue 1.0. The Rogue 1.0 is the replacement and the upgrade to the Anti-Meta 6.0, to the Meta 5.0, to the Contrarian 2.0. All of those builds roll up to this #1 build, which dominates all of them. Okay, this build is a must-have if you want to be winning here in Season 5 of Sea of Conquest. Get ready to rock and roll. We'll also talk really quick about the sponsor for today's content, GemZ. Let's do it. I'll start by showing you 1 or 2 reports here. So get excited for that. We've done a lot of testing against my good buddy Glare. We've also done a lot of testing by going out and mass assaulting and massacring and sinking all of the OPG fools who win this season against us. And this particular report, you can see I was able to defeat Glare, who is a little bit over 4 million power stronger than me, running an anti-meta build. And then she also did switch to the overall build that we're running here today, and she beat me 5 or 6 times in a row. Okay, so I'll start with a report where I lost the fight, and then I'll jump to a report where I won the fight, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the build in detail, all right? So as you can see here, we have a tremendous performance from the Stormbringer, the Orochi, and the Sceptre. The Sceptre, believe it or not, is a massive damage dealer and a healing ship here in this new Rogue 1 setup. The build is an absolute monster, and you also have the Cutthroat ship, the Warhammer, back in play. Now, there is a version of this build where you use an artillery ship instead of the Warhammer. They will perform similarly, but I decided to bring the Warhammer back because I haven't used it in 2 or 3 seasons, so it's here today. Okay, let's talk real quick about the sponsor for today's content, GemZ. Alright folks, you have 3.5 days left to get Gideon, the time-limited Halloween hero. You can get him with throwing knives. Throwing knives are absolutely fantastic. They can be used on the spinning wheel, and now you can use them to summon Gideon, one of the strongest strategic heroes in the game, a first mate, and a massive nuker who can outdamage Griffin in the early fight. Alright? If you are going to purchase throwing knives, I highly recommend you use the sponsor for today's content, GemZ. GemZ will help you achieve massive discounts on these packs. Check the link to their description. Check the link to their Discord in my video description below. All right, we're back, and I showed you a report where we lost the fight. Now let's look at a report that was also very close where we won the fight. And again, this is the Rogue 1 setup. And Glare has actually switched to the Rogue 1 setup in this particular video. In this particular report. So this is really great comparison, Rogue 1 versus Rogue 1, with a couple little tweaks on the support ship, okay? So overall, stats on this report where we won, we also see tremendous performance from the Sceptre, massive damage absorbed, massive healing done, incredible damage output. And again, the Orochi and the Stormbringer are top damage dealers by a mile. The Orochi setup we have here is a monster setup. What we have is Griffin, then Rinfu, then Sara, and the synergy here is endless. The damage output is supreme, and it just snowballs harder and harder with Rinfu as the fight drags on. Okay, the burning ship here, where we are using Crow, Tanaka, and we have Ember Volcana here. The amount of damage output from this anti-crit build. This is a non-crit build. This is a ship that's running with about 100% crit resistance with no crit rate or crit damage, just pumping out pure deeps, okay? And finally, like I said, the Sceptre here, we have Hammer Conquest dropping the hammer left and right. Incredible damage from still Titus and Adeline, and crazy healing from both the ship and Adeline. All right, let's look at the build itself. And I have a few other reports if I can find them. Is this one of them? This looks like one of them where I'm running, actually running this setup. This is before I put Crow down and put Lester up on the support ship. This is pre-doing that, but this is essentially the same build. We had Don Corleone, the leader of OPG, get absolutely wrecked trying to kill me. He brought a friend with him. Okay, I was auto-trading at the time. I logged in, and there was just nothing but death and destruction, and I sunk both of these guys, and then he came back with full health and killed me. Okay, so this is a great stress test for the build as well. You know, one-on-ones, you can do a lot, but as you can clearly see here, in these longer fights, you get great performance from the Rinfu Griffin Sara combo. The absolute damage here is next level. Still incredible damage from the burning ship on the Stormbringer, and still good damage, crazy damage absorbed, and crazy healing, almost 22 million healing from the Sceptre, guys. So what else do you want to see from this build? Because it is a monster trucker. All right, let's go look at the details. I'll try and keep this short and sweet. I want to make this a 20-minute video for you. We have Ahab, Obi, and Magnus on the flagship. I am using non-aggro trinkets on these guys. I don't want aggro on the ship. I'm using Yamada. I'm using low aggro trinkets. I'm going to generate enough aggro when Magnus triggers his ultimate. I don't want to take any other damage other than sharing Obi from his ultimate, sharing damage from other ships in the meantime, okay? This ship is a crazy high HP, high armor ship, and it's really incredible. The Tidal Rage. Now, this is something that if you don't have the Tidal Rage, Crimson Sentinel will do just fine. I just didn't, for this particular video, I did not delete my Tidal Rage and level up the Crimson Sentinel, but they'll have similar performance. The Crimson Sentinel is a little bit tankier. Tidal Rage has this nice purple debuff that will lower enemies' attack by 30% for 10 seconds. So get a little bit more advantage from this, a little bit less tankiness, but performs very well. Lester, Cordelia, Wanda on this ship. You saw Lester does decent damage. Cordelia and Wanda, of course, are a monster combo themselves. They just trigger into each other, which is tremendous. Okay, the Warhammer. We have Bones, Onimusha, and Luna. If you have Kartal, you can substitute out Luna for Kartal. He might be slightly better than her. But Luna is usually the top damage dealer in this build. Okay, we are running with 3 cutthroat skills on this ship. Okay, which is tremendous. So we have a crazy amount of bonus cutthroat damage, and then we have Same Old Trick, which causes my highest cutthroat damage ability to be recorded and repeated. All right, this ship does great damage. It's got very high crit damage setup here, 144% crit rate and 319% crit damage, and I'm still rocking 51.1% crit resistance, so we're still doing a great job on that. The Stormbringer, okay, Crow, Tanaka, and Ember Volcana is a little bit stronger than Lester, Tanaka, Ember Volcana. Crow does activate a few more burning stacks than Lester, meaning he will activate more of Tanaka's trinkets. So this is a very high damage build. We are using Yamada on this setup because we want to have really incredible attack stats, and we don't really need any crit stats on this ship. So what we're running here is over 100% crit resistance, and all the crit stats are actually just from GemZ, okay? But crazy high armor, crazy high HP. It's, as you saw, my second biggest damage dealer, and it really does a tremendous job. The Orochi, this is new, okay? We have not really put Rinfu with Strategic until a few days ago, so we're rocking with Griffin, Rinfu, and Sara on this ship. As you already know, the first mate has usually been Onimusha, but since I moved Onimusha to the Warhammer, we stuck Rinfu on the Orochi. Rinfu has upgraded the Orochi in a couple of ways. Being that Rinfu gives a lot of bonus to the ship's basic attacks, and as you know, Sara causes her ship to trigger a lot of basic attacks. Because she's triggering a lot of basic attacks, you're going to get higher damage from Rinfu. Rinfu is going to complement Griffin and Sara very nicely, and he will continue to snowball deep and do a lot of output. Okay? And finally, the most valuable ship in the build today is the Sceptre. This is a purple Sceptre that if you got these 4 skills previously, you probably would have just deleted it. You probably would have been like, what the F is this ship? Because I had a legendary version of this that I actually did delete with 3 of these 4 same skills. And I deleted it because I tested the healing skill on the Sceptre back when I was not using it in this setup. And it performed so poorly that I destroyed my legendary ship. What I should have done is kept it, because now we're finding with this particular build, the repair damage healing skill is the best in-slot skill for this setup, since the ship is taking all the damage all at once. Okay, we have crazy aggro. We have 2 aggro skills on this ship with over 100%, over 100 bonus aggro. This last skill, I wish I had another aggro armor skill on it, but receiving less cutthroat damage is also great. It'll help me avoid getting one-shotted. Okay, we are using 3 tank trinkets on this setup here. We're using 2 Eagle Shields to give myself crazy armor and aggro, and we're using a Wanda Trinket. You do not have to have the Wanda Trinket at 6 stars to make this build work. You could have the Wanda Trinket at 0 stars and still do 5 or 6 million healing in a fight with Adeline. Having this at 6 stars does increase the healing output significantly, which is great. But like I said, the build is still incredibly successful with a 0-star Wanded Trinket, but you must have this in order to really take advantage of the build. How this trinket works is every time the ship takes 10 rage restoration effects, you will activate a heal for 5 ships. Okay? The heal is based on the attack of the ship, so you want high attack. You don't need crit for this setup. You may even decide in the future, and I may decide to do it, to put Yamada on the ship, which will lower my armor and raise my attack, therefore raising my healing. However, I like the Sacred Guardian because you are taking so much damage, you really need that shielding, and having such high HP with all the shielding is great. So when you saw this ship take 38 million damage in a fight, it's not showing you how much it's shielded. It's shielded for 10 million or so damage in that fight, most likely, so I actually redirected way more damage than is shown on paper. This Hammer, Titus, and Adeline combo, you can run with a 4-star Titus, right? At 4 stars, you still have, oh my goodness, at 3 stars even, you still have the ability to do a Taking on Water stack when you get attacked. At 4 stars, you get a couple more bonuses, which is really great, which applies weakness to the target, making them do less damage. Okay, so what you're doing here is at 4 stars, which is all you need, you are applying Taking on Water when you take damage. You are debuffing the enemy to do less damage when you take damage, and you are causing your Adeline through her 4-star skill to gain rage. Even if she's only 4 stars, that's fine. You still get the rage. It's not about how much rage you gain per instance. It's about the number of instances that you gain rage. Every 10 times you gain rage, whether it's 2 or 10, you are going to trigger this traumatic heal, which is fantastic, okay? So, we're redirecting a ton of damage to this ship. It's causing an incredible amount of bonus aggro. It has a credible amount of bonus armor. It's doing an incredible amount of shielding, and when it takes damage, it's spreading, taking on water to everybody, which is why Hammer's damage in this setup is so crazy strong, okay? And every time this ship gets hit 12 times, it is triggering a heal to heal for a percentage of the lost HP. This is a monster setup, and I cannot describe enough how crazy this setup is. It is absolutely incredible. All right, so folks, that is the video. This is the Rogue One build, okay, 1.0. I can't say Rogue One without the .0 at the end of it because it's probably copyright infringement with Disney. This is the Rogue 1.0 setup. Get excited. Feel free to like and subscribe. And again, you don't have to have a whaled out scepter. I have a purple scepter. You could use a blue scepter. You only need Hammer Conquest to be 4 stars. You only need Adeline to be 4 stars. And you can make this build absolutely sing. Okay? So, like and subscribe. I love you guys. Long time. Randy out.